Good day everyone! For this video, we're going to talk about Module 6, which entitles Work and Kinetic Energy. All of the discussions found in this video lecture are originated in the University of Physics with Modern Physics by Young and Friedman, 13th edition. By studying this chapter, you will learn what it means for a force to do work on a body and how to calculate the amount of work done, the definition of the kinetic energy, energy of motion of a body, and what it means physically. Then how the total work done on a body changes the motion's kinetic energy, and how to use this principle to solve problems in mechanics. And the last one is how to use the relationship between total work and changes in kinetic energy. When the forces are not constant, then the body follows a curved path, or both. So the new method that we're about to introduce uses the idea of work and energy, which is your Newton's law of motion. Actually guys, we have three ways in how to solve problems in physics. First is the Newton's first law of motion, then the second one is by using work and kinetic energy theorem, and the last one is the next module, which is your impulse and momentum. So this time, we are dealing with work and kinetic energy. So the importance of the energy idea stems from the principles of conservation of energy, which states that energy is a quantity that can be converted from one form to another, but cannot be created or destroyed. An example of this is in a car. So the chemical energy that is stored in the gasoline of our vehicles is converted partially to an energy that are used by the automobiles or the car. So initially, from chemical to mechanical energy, which is the amount of the chemical energy converted into mechanical energy, is also the same doon sa finished product mo. So yun yung sinasabi ni conservation of energy. Kaya natin na-transfer mo yung isang energy from one point to another thing. It will not change the amount of energy that is, even though its form is changed. It will not change in terms of quantity, but the form change from chemical to mechanical. Pero the amount of energy present there is just the same. So another example is a microwave oven. So your electromagnetic energy that comes from the power of our microwave oven is converted to thermal energy para maging mainit, tama ba? Okay, para maluto yung ating mga pagkain. So parang sa ano din, pag kumakain ka ng mga pagkain. So yung food is a form of chemical energy. Once na kinain mo yun, ipaprocess ng katawan mo. Magta-transform siya into kinetic energy in the form of adenosine triphosphate or yung ATP na tinatawag natin. So anyway, di naman natin yun masyadong pag-uusapan. So basta, sinasabi lang dito, conservation of energy. Energy is a quantity that can be converted from one form to another, but cannot be created or destroyed. In physics, work is defined as the force causing the movement or displacement of an object. In the case of a constant force, work is the scalar product of the force acting on an object and the displacement caused by the force. Mas maiintindihan natin ang work na ito kapag sa example tayo tumingin. Let's say, merong isang car na tinutulak. Initially, aalisin mo muna yung mga taong nagtutulak. So, initially, you push that car. When you push it, of course, what happens there is that the car will not move. Because imagine that, assuming that, you have not enough for the force na ini-exert mo. That's why the car didn't move. So, if there is no movement, there is no work na nangyayari. Pero kapag kadalawa na kayo, okay, tinulungan ka ng barkada mo, ng classmate mo, okay, so then assuming that, kapag tinulak niyong dalawa yon, pinagtulungan nyo, gagalaw na yung ating car. Pero hindi ganun kalayo. Kasi, mabilis lang kayo mapagod. So, parang ganon. There's a work, but maliit lang yung work na nangyayari. Then kapag ito, apat na kayo, so the more person na nagpupush, then syempre, mas mataas yung force. We can represent work as the product of force and the displacement. Force, and as the force increases, the work also increases. As the displacement increases, the work also increases. Or, baliktad. As the work increases, the S, or the displacement, also increases. So pag mas malaki yung force, mas malaki yung work. Pag mas malaki yung work, of course, mas mahaba yung ika-travel or mas malayo yung mata-travel ng ating car sa pagtutulak. So, ganun lamang po si work. So kapag yung force na yon didn't cause any motion to the object, kung saan ina-apply yung force na yan, walang work na nangyari. Halimbawa, tinulak mo yung pader. So hindi gumalaw yung pader. So ibig sabihin, walang work na nangyari. So, there's a force. But since there's no displacement, obviously, there's no work present dito sa ating wall. You do work by exerting a force on a body while that body moves from one place to another. So, gaya ng sinabi ko, kailangan gumalaw yung isang object para magkaroon ng work. So, that is undergo sa displacement. So, you do work if the force is greater. You push harder on the car. Or if the displacement is greater, you push the car farther down the road. So, kapag mas malayo yung tinahak or mas malayo na yung na-travel or mas malayong displacement na, mas mataas yung work. Para mas mataas yung force niya, mas mataas din yung work. So, take note this formula, guys. So, ito yung formula ng ating work. Let's take a look at this 6.2. The work done by a constant force acting in the same direction as the displacement. Take note that this formula is only applicable. I'm going to say that F is the force applied. Then your S is the displacement. So take note that this force is maybe constant or variable. So it can be constant or it can also be variable. So the first thing we're going to talk about in this part of 1 of Module 6 is the force is constant. So it means that this force is still there. You will not leave it until it reaches its specific displacement. So for example, the block is here. It has reached here. The force is still there. You will not leave it. So kapag nag-exert ka ng force tapos nawala agad, so initially, gagalaw yan. Tapos mapupunta siya sa 0 or at rest. Mapupunta siya sa velocity is equal to 0 or at rest. Kasi nga, titigil yan kapag walang constant force na nagtutulak sa kanya. So, yun po si work. Okay? Paano naman po kapag ito? The work is done by a constant force acting on the same direction as the displacement. If a body moves through a displacement S, well, the constant force F acts on it in the same direction. So, we can solve force. We can apply this formula. Work is equal to force times displacement. If the force and the displacement is parallel with each other, so hindi pwede yung force mo is pa ganyan, tapos magmumove siya, tapos yung distance nitong block mo, tinulak mo pababa. Tapos merong displacement dito. Ito yung displacement. Pinag-multiply mo si F, tapos si S, na hindi naman parallel sa isa't isa. Hindi po ganun ina-apply tong si formula ng work. Si work, dapat yung force mo and yung displacement mo should be parallel to each other. So, kagaya nga ng sinabi rito sa ating 6.2, paano naman kapag may inclination yung ating constant force? The work done by a constant force acting at an angle to the displacement. So, example, itong si car. And then yung car na yan is hinihila ng isang force that is inclined sa ating horizontal sa specific angle feet. So, yung S natin is horizontal. So, kapag kinuha mo si work yan, you can solve work. Kunin mo yung X component ng ating force. X component, no force, which is F cosine phi. So, yun yung force na i-consider mo sa formula. So, ito magiging F cosine phi, tapos multiplied by the displacement S. So, F cosine phi siya lang yung magkakaroon ng contribution sa work. But itong si Y component ni F, wala pa yung contribution sa work. So, para mas maintindihan nyo ito guys, punta tayo sa letter A. Force F has a component and direction of displacement which is si F parallel doon sa ating displacement, which is si F cosine phi na, diba? Times S. So, work is positive kapag ganyan po, okay? Work is positive kapag yung direction ng movement or ng motion natin is the same doon sa direction ng X component ng ating force. So, positive yung ating work. So, paano kapag yung direction ng ating motion is papunta sa right, okay? Kasi nagdi-display siya to the right. And then, yung force na ina-apply natin dito is inu-oppose niya yung ating motion. So, pagka ganun, negative po yung work na nangyayari dyan. And we can solve the work by getting also the X component of this force F. So, F cosine phi pa rin yan, multiplied by the displacement S. So, ano yung example ng negative work? So, example of negative work is friction force, okay? Kasi nga, it opposes the direction of the motion. So, kapag friction force yan, so almost laging negative yung ating friction force pagdating kay work. Okay? So, next, yung letter C natin. Force F or force component perpendicular. Okay? Yung perpendicular component ng ating force to the direction of the displacement, okay? The force or force component does no work on the object. Kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, yung y component ng ating force kanina dito sa first example is walang contribution sa work ni x direction. Kasi magmo-move. Hindi naman nagmo-move yung ating object or hindi naman nag-move yung ating car in y direction. Therefore, wala siyang distance na displaces. Okay? So, unlike kay x direction, nag-displace siya horizontally. So, ibig sabihin, yung nakakontribute sa kanyang force is the x component ng ating force F. So, dito yung perpendicular na force F. Walang kinalaman doon sa work. Okay? Na nag-cause ng displacement S. So, parang ganon. So, kailangan yung i-master itong si work.
Kinetic energy and the work energy theorem. Kinetic energy is a form of energy that an object or a particle has by reason of its motion. Kinetic energy known as energy in motion. Ito yung energy na meron yung object habang gumagalaw. Ibig sabihin kung yung isang bagay ay gumagalaw, as long as gumagalaw ito, meron itong kinetic energy. Example. Okay, mag-drawing tayo. May bridge. Bridge yan ah. Yeah. Tapos may dalawang taong naglalakad. Oops. Oh. Yeah. Up. Yan. Yung isang tao, yung naunang tao is 90 kg. Tapos, yung sumunod naman is sabihin na nating 40 kilogram. Yan. Kapag mas mabigat yung kapag mas mabigat o mas mataas yung mass, syempre mas maalog yung bridge, di ba? Di ibig sabihin kung mas mataas yung mass, mas mataas ang kinetic energy. At saka ito naman kunwari dumaan tong 40 kilogram na tao. Ibig sabihin ko konti lang yung yung shake na nangyayari doon sa bridge kaya mas mababang kinetic energy. Yan. Next is meron tayong dalawang car. Oops. Yeah. Up. Hirap mag-drawing ah. Up. Yeah. Yan. Up. Yan. Si car A, tumatakbo ng sabihin na nating 100 kilometers per hour. Yan. Tapos si car B, sabihin natin tumatakbo lang siya ng 30 lang. Ayan. Pag dumaan sa'yo tong 100, itong car A na tumatakbo ng 100 kilometers per hour, syempre mararamdaman natin yung hangin na hangin nung sasakyan na dumaan, 'di ba? Ibig sabihin, mataas yung kinetic energy niya. Kaya pag mas mabilis, mas mataas ang velocity niya, yan. Mahirap mag-drawing, guys. Mas mataas ang kinetic energy niya. Oops. Kinetic energy. Ayan. Work which transfers energy is done by an object. By applying a net force, the object speeds up and thereby gains kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is property of a moving object or particle and depends not only on its motion but also on its mass. Ito yung formula ng kinetic energy. Ayan. Yan, naka-highlight na yan. Yan. Ito siya. Kinetic energy is equal to 1/2 mv. Yan. Yan. Alisin na natin para mas maluwag yung pagsusulatan. Yan. Yan. Ito, ang unit ng mass natin is naka-kg yan. Kg. Kg. Mass. Tapos, dito naman sa velocity. Velocity natin is, ang unit niyan, meters per second. Meters per second. Tapos dito sa kinetic energy naman, the same as work, ang unit ng kinetic energy is kilogram. Ang laki. Okay. Ito, kilogram meter squared per second squared. Yan. Or same as dun sa work, Newton. Yan, Newton multiplied by meter. Yan. Ito yung formula ng sa work, 'di ba? Force at saka distance. Yan. Or joule or joule. Yan. Ito. Ito, kaya ko sinabing same lang sa work ito. Kasi di ba ang formula ng yan. Ito, di ba? Work is equal to force times distance. Yan. Next, dito naman tayo sa work energy theorem. Okay. The work energy theorem states that the work done by all forces acting on a particle equals the change in the particle's kinetic energy. Yan. Try nating kunin tong formula na to. Gamit yung formula nito. equation 1. Yan. Next is formula ng F is ayan, F is equal to MA. Ayan. For this equation 2 natin. Then S. Ayan. Makukuha natin tong formula ng S gamit yung formula ng velocity final, which is ito, Vf squared is equal to Vi squared hindi, plus 2AS. Ayan. Kunin natin yung yung formula ng S. Ito. Lipat natin yung velocity initial, Vf, is equal to Vf minus Vi squared. Yan. Is equal to 2AS. Ayan. Para maalis natin ito, itong dalawang yan. Divide natin sila sa 2AS. Divide both sides. 2A. Yan. Yan. Cancel. Then, ang kakalabasan niyan is S is equal to Vf squared minus Vi. Ulitin natin. Sulat natin. Ayan. Ayan. Ito, labas na lang natin tong 2. Gawin natin 1/2 times Vf squared minus Vi squared over A. Ayan. Ito, equation 3. Ito yung equation 3 natin. Ayan. Ngayon, substitute na natin ito dito. Itong dalawang to. Ito. Ayan. W. Taburahin na natin to para mas malawak yung pagsusulatan natin. Pwede namang i-pause yung video. Yan. Yan. Ito. Work is equal to change in kinetic energy. Ayan. And substitute natin to. Work is equal to formula ng force, which is MA. Tapos itong equation 3 natin. Yan. F squared minus Vi squared. Ayan na. Yan. Over A. Cancel natin tong A. Yan. Ayan. Kaya ang kakalabasan niyan, work is equal to 1/2 M multiplied by Vf squared minus VI, velocity initial, squared. Yan. Dapat. Pwede nating, distribute. Yan. Yan. Ay. Try natin. Wait lang. Insert. MVF. F. Yan. Yan. F. Squared minus 1/2 M V I squared. Yan ang formula. Yan. Same lang dito. Same lang tong dalawang formula na to, ah. Ayan. Resin natin. Ayan. Saglit lang. Pause muna natin. Ayusin ko. Okay, ito. Work is equal to change in kinetic energy. Yan. Or wake. Wake daw. Wake. Yan. Define parameters present. Ito. VF. Or velocity final. Velocity final. Balik. Velocity final. Velocity. Final. Eh, bakit? Ang sulat eh. In meters per second. The velocity initial. Velocity initial. Initial yan guys, ah. Velocity initial is equal to meters per second pa rin. Work is equal to work in joule. Yan. 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 Okay.
So, dito naman tayo sa example 6.1. Sagutan natin ito. A farmer hitches his tractor to a sled loaded with firewood and pulls it a distance of 20 meters along level ground. The total weight of sled and load is 14,700 newtons. The tractor exerts a constant 5,000 Newton force at an angle of 36.9 degrees above the horizontal. The coefficient of friction of the ground is 0.3. Find the total work done by the tractor considering the friction of the ground. So, sa problem na ito, hinahanap dito yung total work done by the tractor considering the friction of the ground. So, gawin muna tayo ng may body diagram dito. So, kung natin na ito yung sled na hinigilan ng tractor natin. So, sa problem, may mga given tayo na weight na 14,700 Newton and the normal force. Meron din tayong tensile force dito na may angle na 36.9. The force 5,000 Newton. And may friction force din tayo na going to the left since ang friction force ay i-compose niya ang motion. So, yung motion na nasa problem is going to the right. So, yung friction force naman to the left na. Kunin po natin yung normal force. So, magkasabation force is y tayo. So, 0. So, normal force na positive since pataas ito. And then, weight na negative since pababa. Positive na tensile force 5,000 since with respect to y magsasine sine 36.9 so 2,0 pag natin sa calculator ang x 7,700 is 5,000 sine 36.9 so pero yung value ng normal force dito na nakuha 11,697.899 Newton. So may normal force na tayo. So that is summation work done is equal to summation force times displacement. So dito, i-identify muna natin lahat ng force na nag-act sa stem. So, meron tayo dito tensile force na 5,000 cosine tayo with respect to x-axis na ito. Correct x-axis na. Cosine, angle na 36.9 degrees times displacement 20. And finals, bakit negative? Since palit yung friction force natin, mag-negative talaga. Minus coefficient friction na 0.8 times subscript ang natin dito yung mga force na nakuha na 11,697.899 times displacement 20. Kung na natin dito yung force ay yung work natin. Kung tayo dito value ng work na 9,781.072 Newton meter or joules. Kaya na yung work na hinahanap. So sa example 6.1 naman tayo. Let's look again at the sled and our results from example 6.1. Suppose the sled's initial speed is 2 meters per second. What is the speed of the sled after it moves to 80 meters? So, gagamitin na natin dito yung work energy to well. Okay. Na summation of all work is equals to change in kinetic energy, or simply sabihin ito ng work is equals to 1/2 mass times velocity initial ay velocity final minus velocity initial as work mo. So, sa example 6.1, nakuha na natin yung work. Total work done by the tractor considering the friction program. So, isa-substitute na lang natin dito. 97, 1.072 is equals to 1/2 mass ng state. So, given tayo ng weight na 14,700, i-divide lang natin na sa 9.81 para maging mass times. So, since ang hinahanap dito sa 6.2 is the final velocity, final or V.2 squared minus V initial na given tayo ng 2.0 meters per second. Input lang natin sa calculator pang makuha yung final 1.072 tapos 1.7 kung may nakuha tayo ditong velocity final na 4.180 meter per second. Ayan na yung final answer.
Let's look at the example of how we can apply the work energy theorem to a motion problem. In example 6.4, you throw a 20 Newton rock vertically into the air from the ground level. You observe that when it is 15 meters above the ground, it is traveling at 25 meters upward. Use the work energy theorem to find the following. Letter A. Rock speed just as it left the ground. B. Maximum height. Its maximum height. So, una ay kunin muna natin yung given ng example 6.4. Sinasabi dito na you throw a 20 Newton rock is thrown vertically upward from the ground level. Some point on the way up specifically is 15 meters above the ground. We observe that the rock is still moving upward at 25 meters per second. Now, we're going to use the work energy theorem. So, una ay ang ating weight na 20 Newton. At ating distance na 15 meters. And it is traveling upward. So, ang magiging final velocity natin is equal to 25 meters per second. So, letter A, rock speed just as it left the ground. So, in question A, what was the rock speed just as it left the ground? we need to draw first the FBT of rock. So itong ating datum line. Rock. It is 15 meters. 15. Meters. Ang ating ulit. Final velocity. So, ang hinahanap dito is ang ating initial velocity kasi it is traveling downward. So, ang ating unknown ay initial velocity. So, we use the work energy theorem. The summation of all work is equal to 1/2 mass times velocity squared minus initial velocity squared. We can solve our initial velocity by using this theorem. So, our summation of all work is equal to negative 20 times 15 meters is equal to 1/2 20 times 9 divided by 9.81 times VF natin na 25 squared minus VI squared. So to calculate it, we need to shift solve. Negative 20 times 15 is equal to 0.5 times 20 divided by 9.81 times 25 squared minus x squared. So, ating final answer is equal to 30.32 meters per second. Thirty-two point 30.32 meters per second. So next, its maximum height. So we will just copy this FBD. So, ang hinahanap naman dito sa ating letter B is ating maximum height. So, ang ating VF ay magiging 0. So, 0 meters per second. And ating initial velocity is yung nakuha natin dito sa letter A na 30 30.32. This will become our maximum height. Looks. So to find our H max, we need to use this theorem. The summation of all work is equal to 1/2 m times Bf squared minus Vi squared. So we copy this formula. So our summation of all work is equal to negative 20 times our H max is equal to 1/2. Wait natin na 20 times, I divide by 9.81 times VF natin na 0 squared minus 30.32. So we will calculate our H max. So negative 20 times x is equal to 0.5 times 20 divided by 9.81 times 0 squared minus 30.32 squared. So our final answer is equal to 46.856 meters. This will be our final answer in question B. So this is our final answer in A and B. Example 6.6. 400 Newton block slide on a horizontal plane by applying a horizontal force of 200 Newton and reaches a velocity of 10 meters per second in a distance of 30 meters from rest. And determine the coefficient of friction between the floor and the block. B. Determine the total distance that the block will move until it stops. If 200 Newton force is removed when it reaches 30 meters from rest. So A. I-determine daw natin yung coefficient ng ating friction force. So Una, kailangan muna natin gawin ang FBD ng example 6.6. So, FBD. A 400 Newton horizontal plane. Ito, horizontal plane. Itong ating block. And ating weight equal to 400 Newton block. Next ay ating force P. Force P na is equal to 200 Newton. Our initial velocity is equal to 0. It reaches a velocity of 10 meters. So, ang ating magiging final velocity is equal to 10 meters per second. Yes. Ang ating distance from rest and final velocity is equal to 30 meters. 30. Una muna natin kailangan gawin sa letter A is kunin ang ating normal force. May unknowns pa pala tayo dito na friction force. FF. NF. So, A. Summation forces Y equal to 0. Upward is positive. So, NF minus 400 Newton equal to 0. So, makukuha natin ang ating coefficient by using the formula summation of all work done equal to 1/2 m times Vf squared minus Vi squared. So, ang ating work is equal to P times distance minus friction force times distance ulit is equal to 1/2 m times Vf squared times V. So, ating force P is equal to 200 times 30 minus friction force times 30 is equal to 1/2. Of 9.81 times 10 squared minus 0 squared. So, ang ating friction force is equal to 200 times 30 minus x times 30 is equal to 0.5 times 400 divided by 9.81 times 10 squared 0 is equal to so na F is equal to 132.042 Newton. Kukuha na natin ang ating coefficient. So, formula na F is equal to mu normal force. So, FF natin na 132.042 equals unknown natin na mu so our mu is equal to 132.042 is equal to x times 400 mu is equal to 0.33. Letter B. Determine the total distance that the block will move until it stops. If 200 Newton force is removed when it reaches 30 meters from rest. So, copy natin itong FBD natin. Summation of all work done is equal to 200 times 30 minus 132.044. 42 times 30 minus 132.042 times S is equal to 0. So our S is equal to 200 times 30 minus 132.042 times 30 minus 132.042 times S is equal to 0. So our S equal to 15.44 meters. To determine the total distance, we will add the 30 meters and our D is equal to 30 plus 15. So 45.44 meters.
So for this lecture, we are going to discuss about work and energy with constant forces that are applied in a system or a body wherein its magnitude is constant. Let's say itong box na ito, nag-apply tayo ng tensile force T, which have a magnitude of 10 newtons. So this is an example of constant force because as it moves at an instant displacement S, yung T mo is hindi nagbabago. Kasi yung T mo sa initial position is parehas din lang sa tension mo sa last position or doon sa final position. Pero ngayon, we are dealing with varying forces. So paano natin isi-solve kapag yung in-apply nating force, let's say force P, again sa ating crate or sa box na yan, is magba-vary. Depende doon sa displacement S. This T is a function of S, which is 10 S squared. So as we can see, as the S changes its magnitude, the tension force or tensile force changes also its magnitude. So dito na papasok yung integration or integrals. So we are dealing with varying force. If we are dealing with varying force, we need to solve those kinds of problems by using integration. So this time, definite integrals yung ating gagamitin. So we have lower limit and upper limit. For example, we know that work is equal to force times displacement or distance. Ibig sabihin, para makuha natin yung work niyan, we need to get the definite integral of the force, which is yung force natin. Let's say itong sample natin sa case B. So itong case in natin wherein yung ating force dyan is constant. Dito sa case B, yung force natin mag-vary depende doon sa S value natin. We need to get the integral of that force which is Ct na 10s squared. And then our D or the displacement is ds as S approaches 0 to 10. For example, S is equal to 10 meters, so lower limit is 0 and upper limit is 10. So kapag ini-integrate mo yan, then saka mo ina-evaluate, makukuha mo yung value ni work. But stop at that part, okay? Let's proceed to the main topic. It's all about springs. when it's come to varying force spring is an example. Kapag nag-apply ka ng force dito, yung force na yan, for example, force F, yung force F na yan is nagbabago kasi nga itong spring na to is ino-oppose niya yung force na yan. Kapag ganito yung length ng spring natin, yung force mo for example is 10. So habang nagko-compress, yung ating spring na to ay nagsushorten yung kanyang length. Therefore, nababawasan yung force F until maging 0 na lang si force. And that is the time na marireach na ni spring yung kanyang shortest length. So it means nagbabari yung ating force. Ganun din yung scenario kapag yung ating spring is hinahatak mo. Kapag hinahatak mo, mag-elongate or mag-deform yan. It means as you applied force, for example sa part na ito is yung force mo is 10. Yung force na yan is unti-unting mababawasan hanggang ma-reach ng spring yung kanyang maximum length. That is the idea of our spring, and we cannot solve directly the work that is applied to this spring. Or the spring applied to any body, for example, isang particle. Hindi maisosolve yung kanyang work using the formula force times the displacement. But we can solve the work done by the spring by using this formula. So this time we need to use formula na to. Si Fx or si force is equal to K multiplied by X. As you can see, yung K natin dyan is a constant called the force constant or spring constant. Ang unit ng spring constant ay SI units, Newton per meter. When it comes to British unit is pound per foot yung gamit. Pagdating naman kay X dito sa figure, si X is yung nabawas na length doon sa original length. So let's say ito yung original length ng spring na yan. Nung nag-apply ka ng force dito, nag-shorten yung ating spring. So yung pagbabago ng length or kung ano yung nabawas na distance or length doon sa original length, siya si X. Same din pag ini-stretch mo yung spring. X din ito or yung tinatawag na elongation. This force is equal to spring constant T multiplied by the elongation X. X is elongation. Para siya na-derive. The observation that force is directly proportional to elongation for elongations that are not too great was made by Robert Hooke in 1678. Is known as Hooke's law. We can actually solve the value of our spring constant by dividing the elongation to the force applied. So ito pwede natin gamitin bilang formula. Next is here in work. So to stretch a spring, we must do work para ma-stretch natin yung spring. We need work, and also kapag gusto natin i-compress yung spring, kailangan natin ng work. I-apply equal and opposite forces to the ends of the spring and gradually increase as the forces we hold the left end stationary. So the force we apply at this end does no work. So the force at the moving end does no work. The force at the moving end does do work. The work done by this force when the elongation goes from 0 to a maximum value of x is work equal to 1/2 kx squared. Ito yung pinaka-formula natin dito sa work done by the spring. So that's it. Let's proceed to examples or solving part.
Solve natin itong example 6.8 including spring constant. So basahin muna natin yung problem. A woman weighing 600 Newton steps on a bottom scale that contains a stiff spring is compressed 1 centimeter under her weight. Find the force constant of the spring and the total work done on it during the compression. So first, isolve muna natin yung spring constant or force constant of the spring. So ang formula natin is K is equal to Newton over meter. And ayun yung equivalent niya. So ang formula niya is K force over kay X. Pero ang X natin is 1 centimeter. Kailangan natin muna itong convert sa meter. So X is equal to 1 centimeter times, and every 1 meter, that is 100 centimeters. So, cancel. So, may matutunan tayo ditong 0.01 meter. Then, pwede na tayo mag-proceed para makuha si spring constant. So, K is equal to ano yung force na given? Meron tayong given na force na 600 Newton. At over guide 0.01. So, solve natin. 600 divided by 0.01. So, may spring constant tayo 60,000. And so, nakuha na natin si spring constant. Ngayon naman, pwede natin makuha si constant, pwede na natin makuha si work. So, yung work is may formula. Work is equal to 1/2 times spring constant times negation squared. So, salpak natin. Work is equal to 1/2 with spring constant na 60,000 times elongation na negative 0.01. So, weight is equal to 1/2 times 60,000 times 0.01 squared. So, may work tayo na 3 Newton meter or 3 joules. So, proceed naman tayo sa another example. Example 6.9, sabi dito, an aircraft glider of mass 0.1 kg is attached to the end of horizontal aircraft by spring with force constant of 20 Newton per meter. Initially, the spring is unstretched and glider is moving at 1.5 meter per second to the right. Find the maximum distance that the glider move to the right given the following conditions. So, letter A, if the truck is turned on so that there is no friction. Sa letter A daw, walang friction na given. Then, sa letter B, if the air is turned off so that there is kinetic friction with coefficient of 0.47. Solve muna natin yung letter A. So, wait lang. So, drawing muna tayo kay DDA. At, ano dyan? So, may red tayo. Tapos, yan nga natin represent ang ating box. Big initial na mag-initial tayong 1.5 meter per second. And then may weight tayo na 0.1. 0.1 times 9.81. And then normal force. Tapos, lagay natin si friction force or pero wala nang magiging natin. So, pwede na tayong i-convert muna natin ito sa i-calculate natin para sure ko. 0.1 times 9. So, plus ay meron tayo dito na 7.9 equivalent. So, ito yung weight niya. So, pwede na tayo gamitin si summation
Pwede natin gamitin sa work energy current. So, work. Ano? Mass times years. So, hanapin muna natin yung work dyan. Sabi dito na hinanap natin sa X, di ba? So, drawing natin yung bili ka X. Ito si stretch. Ito naman si stretch. Kasi hinanap natin sa X. So, sabi dito sa stretch, may sa stretch daw, may velocity siya na 1.5 meters per second. So, hanapin natin C. So, pag na-stretch siya, ibig sabihin, yun na yung ano niya, VF niya. C, 0 meter per second. So, proceed na tayo dito. Salpak natin. So, pwede na natin gamitin C. Work energy current. Salpak na lang natin. Negative 1 half times string constant na 20 times x squared kasi ito ginanap natin dito. At so 1 half times 0.1 times negative 1.5 squared. Hindi na natin nilagay sa 0 kasi ano naman siya? 0 din. So, matutog natin si x or si elongation. So, talpak natin. Negative 1 half times 20 times alpha x squared plus also 1 half times 0.1 yung mass niya times negative 1.5 squared. So, magtakal na lang ako ng next. So, may nakuha tayo 0.106 meter. Ito yung kanya calculation. So, proceed tayo kay B. So, ngayon susolve naman natin si letter B. So, palitan lang natin ito na. Same din naman sa kay B. Pero, may natanggap naman. So, text natin. Summation for this y is equal to 0.0 positive ay pataas is positive. So, ano yung mga force na nandyan? Meron tayong weight and normal force. And then, minus weight na 0.921. Up is equal to 0. And F is equal to 0.981. Then going on the friction force, ang given ng 0.47 times 0.981. So 0.47 times 0.92. Then friction force tayo 0.46107. So, pwede na tayong mag-work energy ulit. So, summation of work is equal to 1 half mass initial squared minus V final squared. So, ano yung kanina elongation? Ay yung spring constant. So, 1 half times spring constant of 20 times x squared minus friction force na 0.46107 times x is equal to 1/2. Ano yung mas kanina? 0.1 times 0 times 1.5 squared. So natin 1/2 times 20 alpha x squared minus 0.46107 times x alpha, so 1/2 times 0.1 times 1.5 cubes over. So may makapatang values na 0.08 liters.
Hello everyone, so let us solve example 6.11 from our reference book. A 12 kilogram block has an initial velocity of 4 meters per second when it is midway between springs A and B. After striking spring B, it rebounds and slides across the horizontal plane towards spring A, etc. Letter A. If the coefficient of kinetic friction between the plane and the block is 0.4, what is the total distance traveled by the block before it comes to rest? Letter B. If the coefficient of kinetic friction between the plane and the block is 0.2, what is the total distance traveled by the block before it comes to rest? So sa problem natin is hinahanap yung total distance traveled by the block. And as you can see here, ito yung kanyang free body diagram. Ang hinahanap sa kanya is yung total distance travel after niyang mapunta kay spring B and after niyang mag-bounce. Ang hinahanap is yung total distance traveled by the block if the coefficient of kinetic friction is 0.4. In order for us to get the friction force, kailangan natin i-multiply yung coefficient of kinetic friction sa ating normal force. And para mahanap natin si normal force, kailangan natin mag-summation forces y. So lahat ng upward na forces natin is positive. So we have normal force minus weight is equals to 0. Here we have normal force minus 12 na mass ni block, and then multiply natin sa 9.81 equals to 0. And so we have normal force is equals to 12 times 9.81 is 117.72 newtons. Let's solve for the distance traveled. So since given na yung distance between the block and the spring B, we are now solving for the compression of the spring, which is the distance nung nag-compress si spring nung tumama si block. So we will use the formula summation forces work is equals to 1/2 multiplied by the mass and multiplied by the final velocity squared minus initial velocity squared. Initial velocity squared. So ano nga ba yung formula natin for work? Formula natin for work is force times distance. And ano nga ba yung mga forces na present sa ating system? We have the friction force and the force or the constant force acting on the spring, which is Kb is equals to 300 Newton per meter. So let us now solve. We will use this formula. So since friction force is ino-oppose niya yung motion ng ating block, that would be negative. So negative friction force multiplied by the distance plus i-add natin yung compression ng spring since present naman yung ating friction force the moment na nag-compress spring. So we will use the variable x1 minus since yung spring natin is ino-oppose niya rin yung motion ng ating block, ine-negative din natin siya. So ang formula natin for our spring is 1/2 kx squared, that is equals to 1/2 times mass times the final velocity squared minus initial velocity squared. So let's solve for the value of our x. na compression ng ating spring. That would be negative 0.4 multiplied by our normal force na 117.72 times distance na 0.3, distance between the block and the spring, plus compression ni spring, minus ang ating formula for spring na 1/2 mass of the block. I mean, the force acting on the spring na 300 newtons multiplied by x1 squared is equals to 1/2 mass natin na 12 times final velocity natin. Since nag-stop na siya nung pagka-compress ni spring, ang final velocity na natin doon ay 0 minus ang ating initial velocity na 4 meters per second, and that is all equal to 0.5983 meters. Yung value ng ating compression ng spring, which is 0.5983, we will make an assumption na hindi na siya magbabounce back sa ating spring A. Since hindi naman natin alam kung magbabounce back nga ba siya doon or titigil na siya sa kalagitnaan ng ating motion or kalagitnaan ng ating way papunta kay spring. So, ang formula natin ulit doon is the same. Summation work is equals to 1/2 times mass times final velocity squared minus initial velocity squared. So, that is equals to negative friction force pa rin, since it opposes the motion, multiplied by S na distance natin. Nung tumigil na siya, added by the compression, plus, since same na yung motion ng ating spring tsaka nung motion ng block, magiging positive na siya. 1/2 kx squared is equals to 0. Bakit nga ba siya 0? So, nung tumigil na siya, nung nag-compress si spring, di ba 0 na rin yung velocity niya? And since sinosolve na natin yung distance na na-travel niya, nung nag-stop na siya, nung hindi siya umabot sa kabilang spring, 0 na rin yung kanyang velocity doon. So, kapag in-equate natin yung dalawang 0 na yon sa ating work energy theorem na formula, magiging 0 na lang din naman yun, di ba? So, cancelled out na yun. So, that is equals to 0. And then, let's solve it. Negative 0.4 times 117.72 times S plus yung ating compression distance na 0.5983 plus 1/2. Ang compression ang force natin sa spring natin ay 300 multiplied by 0.5983 squared is equals to 0. So that is equals to 0.542 meters. So as you can see, less than siya kay 0.6, which means hindi niya na-reach yung spring natin kay letter A, dahil ang total distance ng between spring A and spring B is 0.6. So yung na-solve natin na value ng S is less than kay 0.6, which means hindi niya na-reach. So ang next natin na step is isasamate na natin yung total distance traveled by the block since nag-stop na siya. So that would be equal to distance is equals to 0.3 plus si x1. So i-multiply natin siya kay 2 dahil dalawang beses siyang dumaan dun sa compression na yon. Plus si distance S. So that is equals to 0.3 plus x1 natin na 0.5983 times 2 plus S natin, S natin na 0.542 meters. So, ang ating total distance traveled is equals to 2.0386 meters. And that is our final answer for letter A. So let us solve problem letter B. Ang pinagkaiba lang is ang ating coefficient of kinetic friction is equals to 0.2. So friction force is equals to 0.2 times 117.72 na normal force. That is equals to 23.544 newtons. So let us solve the x1. Ang same equation na gagamitin natin ay summation work is equals to 1/2 mass times final velocity squared minus initial velocity squared. So that is equals to negative 23.544 times 0.3 na distance plus x1 minus 1/2 300 multiplied by x1 squared is equals to 1/2 mass ng block na 12 kilograms minus multiplied by final velocity natin na 0 kasi nag-compress na siya minus initial velocity natin na 4 squared. So, ang value ng x1 is equals to 0.6955 meters. So, i-assume ulit natin, gagawa ulit tayo ng assumption na hindi magbabounce back si block sa kabilang spring. And if more than 0.6 yung kanyang distance, meaning nun, wrong yung ating assumption. And we would solve for the value of our x2 or our compression on spring A. So, ang equation na gagamitin natin for our assumption is ganun pa rin. Negative friction force multiplied S na distance na tinravel nung nag-stop plus x1 na nakuha natin kanina plus na siya since same na yung motion ng spring sa ating block 1/2 kx1 squared is equals to 0. 0 na siya kasi yun niya yung kanina as I mentioned before na nag-stop na siya nung nag-rest na siya nung after niya ma-travel yung distance S and then yung initial velocity niya nung nag-compress yung spring is also equals to 0. So magka-cancel na yon. So negative friction force natin na negative 23.544 multiplied by S na hinahanap natin plus 0.6955 na value ng x1 natin plus 1/2 300 na constant force ng ating spring times 0.6955 squared is equals to 0. So, ang value ng ating S is equals to 2.3863 meters. So, as you can see, more than siya kay 0.6, which means nag-bounce back siya or na-reach niya yung spring A natin. So, we would solve again for the value of our x2 or yung compression natin kay spring A. So, same equation pa rin yung gagamitin natin. Si negative friction force natin na 23.5, negative 23.544 multiplied by our 0.6 na total distance between spring A and spring B plus si x1 natin and plus ulit si x2 na sinosolve natin. Minus 1/2 K natin, yung constant force spring natin kay A multiplied by x2 squared plus 1/2 which positive siya, which is yan yung spring B natin multiplied by KB and x1 squared is equals to 0. So, 0 pa rin yung ating other side of our equation since nag-bounce back nga siya papunta kay spring A, meaning nun, mag-i-stop ulit siya. And ang galing siya kay spring B, nung nag-stop din siya, na initial velocity niya is 0. So, that is also equals to 0 pa rin. Solve na natin yung value ng ating x2. So, negative friction force natin na 23.544 multiplied by x1 natin or direkta na natin. That is equals to 0.6955 plus 0.6 the total distance between spring A and spring B plus si x2 na sinosolve natin. Plus 1/2 Ito yung sa spring B, 300 multiplied by its x1 na 0.6955 squared minus, ito yung sa spring A. Since involved na yung force ni spring A sa ating system or sa ating motion, i-add na natin siya. And it is negative since it opposes the motion of our block. Minus 1/2 constant force niya na 100 multiplied by x2 squared is equals to 0. 0 siya dahil nag-stop ulit siya kay spring A, which means ang final velocity natin ay 0 and initial velocity natin is 0 since nanggaling siya dun sa compression ni spring B. Ang value ng ating x2 is equals to 0.7114 meters. So, nakuha na natin si x2. Ang next ulit natin na gagawin is we will make another assumption if marireach ba ulit ni block si spring B after niya mag-bounce kay spring A. So, the same equation pa rin. Negative friction force pa rin or i-direct na natin na 23.544 multiplied by distance S plus si x2 natin plus 1/2 constant force sa spring A na 100 multiplied by our x2 and square natin siya and that is also equals to 0. So, kapag nag-more than 0.6 pa rin to, meaning nun, marireach niya ulit si spring B. But if it is less than to 0.6, na-reach niya yung kanyang at rest, which and then, after nun is magsasumate na tayo ng total distance. So, let us solve the distance S for our assumption. That is equals to negative friction force natin na 23.544 multiplied distance S na hinahanap natin plus si x2 natin or i-direct na natin siya. That is equals to 0.7114 plus na siya since same na sila ng motion ni spring at ni block. 1/2 100 na constant force ng spring A multiplied by our x2 na 0.7114 squared. That is equals to 0. And this equation is equals to 0.3634 meters. So, mapapansin nyo guys, less than 0.6 na siya, which means hindi na niya na-reach si spring B and nag-stop na siya midway. So, that means we would now summate our total distance traveled by the block since hindi niya na-reach si spring B. So, that is equals to 0.3 first distance traveled by the block. And then, si x1 natin na 0.6955 multiply that by 2 plus 0.6 na distance na na-travel ng ating block sa buong system plus si x2 natin na 0.7114 multiply that also by 2 since dalawang beses siyang nadaanan plus si distance S natin na na-solve natin kanina which is equals to 0.3643. And that is all equals to 4.0772 meters. So, ito na yung total distance traveled by our block if the coefficient of kinetic friction is equals to 0.2. And that is our final answer for letter B, for our problem letter B. That's it guys. Thank you for listening. Bye!